Welcome to Live with Greg, or Live with Greg, depending on semantics.
So, another episode of Live with Greg with the wonderful Bodhi Dunkel-Wilker.
Dunkel-Wilker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's who you are, right?
It's me. You said it a little funny.
How'd I say it?
A little more like Dunkel-Wilker.
Dunkel-Wilker.
Yeah.
Great minds think alike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So what are we doing here, Gregory?
We're doing a podcast. All right, so I have a question for you.
Okay.
I haven't heard this from you, but I heard that you were romantically attracted to girls.
Yeah.
That's real?
That's real.
Okay, but you have a boyfriend right now.
I do. Boyfriend. I do.
Boyfriend, let's hit that.
That I do.
Can't. All right, well, no names. I forgot about that. So, what are your thoughts about that?
I kind of just don't think, I guess. It's just like, well, it's just like it is what it is now, and that's what it is now, and if you start thinking about it, then it's like, well, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So it's just kind of like, it's just kind of easier that way, I feel. Just like, I feel like when I have tried to like think and like say like, oh, this is this way, this is that, it just makes it more confusing and it's easier to just not. So, yeah. Which I'd say is probably the case for a lot of things, I would imagine.
So, I was thinking about that, how there's this propensity to want to label things and say like, Bodhi's gay, Bodhi's bi, Bodhi's straight.
What is Bodhi?
And what I hear you saying, and this is what I was thinking about this morning a bit, that really it's like, it's each moment. Like, I'm attracted to this person, and they are what they are. I'm attracted to them, and that's what's happening right now.
Which I feel like also is kind of interesting with, like, you hear people who are married to someone and, like, are married to them for a long time, or, like, just are in a relationship with them, and then they, like, come out as trans, and, like, maybe it's, like, a straight person who was dating a woman, and then, like, the woman comes out and says, I'm a man or something, and it's, like, people who stay together in that scenario, where it's, like, it really is, like, really just about the person. Like, if you still, like, for some people, maybe that is, like, actually, like, a turn-off, and you're like, oh, okay, I don't like you anymore because I don't like men, you're a man. But for some people, it's like, well, I thought I didn't, but I still like you because, you're still the same person. So it's like, I don't know, it's interesting how that kind of works.
It is. There does seem to be an element in a committed, loving relationship where, because even if a person was in an accident, let's say, and lost both their legs.
Yeah.
And they're paralyzed, you're gonna ditch that person?
Yeah, exactly.
No, you still love that person.
Yeah. No, that's a good, like, analogy, because it's like, it's true. Like, if you're in a long-standing relationship where you, like, truly love them, there's not much that will change that. There's not much, like, unless they do something bad, like, unless they actually actively,
right.
But there's not much that could happen to them that would change that, I feel.
Right, and even doing something bad, we're well aware of many scenarios that the person,
Yeah, so.
What do you like about your current relationship with your boyfriend? Like, what is it in your life that this is bringing that is a positive?
I think mainly just that, like, as people, like, interests wise goes is, like, very similar, and, like, just kind of like the type of person. Like, I love people who like this, who just like to talk about things. And I think I would say with majority of my friends, like, a lot of the friends that I really like is because we're able to have like very serious conversations and like genuinely think through things that are completely pointless, which is like fun. I feel like that's enjoyable. And so it's
like, how did Gumby go into stories?
Yeah.
And you guys figure that out.
And we're like,
and you're not high.
Exactly. I had a friend tell me like a few times that was like, Bodhi, you sound like you're high all the time. Because I will get like, mainly like on Sam's, I'll be like walking around and I'll just be like, oh, clouds. Because the clouds just look really pretty. Like, they're just really cool. And like every time I see a squirrel, I have to say squirrel and go watch it
that's
until it.
Given.
Exactly.
Who doesn't?
So it's just, you know. So I think, yeah, I feel like with them, it's just kind of like.
So your current boyfriend is someone that you can talk with in depth and really explore things together?
Yeah, I think we both have like similar interests in like. I'd say mainly. Mostly?
Were you making up a word? A combination of mostly and mainly?
Mainly.
Mostly.
That's a
Moistly.
word.
I don't think that's a good word for talking about sex. Okay, no, not with your dad, all right?
But yeah, I think it's nice to like just have people that you like being around. Yeah. And it was kind of the thing, like, I like him, he likes me.
And you like being romantic together.
Yeah. He's a fun guy, he's a nice guy. It's just kind of like, I don't know, for me it's just a very like I said, like if I start thinking about it too much, then it, but if it's like easy, I'd say. It's just like an easy, nice thing.
Have you had any experiences in it that weren't easy, where you guys had to work something out together?
Kinda. I'm trying to think of like actual. Yeah, there was like. But like I don't know. I think like whatever happens, it was a very nothing actually serious. Nothing where I was actually like hurt or anything, or I don't think where either sides were actually hurt. So it was like, I don't know, which is kind of like, yeah. Also kind of like is interesting because I very much recognize that it's not really a super serious. Like, I'm a junior in high school. I don't plan on like. I'm not setting up my whole life with this person and everything, so I think that kind of also makes it like nothing, no like major drama or anything. I also just don't like drama. I just rather not, which isn't always a good thing, but it's like
why is it not a good thing?
Well, because then it could like lead to avoidance of stuff, which isn't good, but it's also just like, I don't know, I feel like I'm pretty good with like not getting like just being understanding in scenarios of like you like not getting like not trying to let my feelings cause more drama than needed. I guess it's a way to put it, something like that. But yeah, don't know if that answers the question, but
that was, yeah, it does. So you have a group of friends, and there's a couple of them, a few of them that are gender. Is gender fluid even appropriate? Not really, huh? Because that would imply that the gender's changing.
Yeah, because some people are gender fluid.
Right.
Gender queer, I guess, is a word.
Is that a word? Gender queer?
You can kind
What's gender queer?
It's when you're
you can just slap that on anything.
But with your
I'll
gender.
have a pumpkin spice queer latte. Sounds good.
Probably. That does sound
It's got sprinkles.
like a little extra
It's got those unicorn sprinkles.
Yeah. The unicorn frappuccino.
Yeah.
Yeah. But just like not one, just kind of.
All right, so how long have you, let's take one of your friends who identifies as they, them.
Yes. Uses
Right?
they, them pronouns.
That's
yeah.
they, them pronouns. And do you know what that does for this individual?
Like using.
Yeah,
those
like
pronouns?
what's the logic, I guess, in a way, of that choice for them?
I feel like the best way I have can describe it is I think I said this to Joan even before, but if how would you feel if someone called you she, referred to you as she,
If it was a consistent thing, it'd start to bother me, I think.
So I feel like the best way to describe it is if for them it's that, but on both ends, uncomfortable with someone calling them she and uncomfortable with someone calling them he, that either of them just have the same kind of feeling, but that just it just works, it just it fits, it just feels normal, natural type thing. So
a lot of these choices are based on feelings.
Yeah.
I can see the biblical people running to the passage where it says, don't pay attention to your feelings.
There's a lot there.
There's a lot there.
There's so much there.
Yes. I, on the other hand, think feelings are pretty important.
I think feelings are pretty... I think they kind of make up majority of life.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Feelings.
It isn't like a psychotic killer, they have no feelings.
Yeah, that's a large... part of that is just apathy. So I'd say most people that I know agree that apathy is usually not the best.
Not a healthy choice.
Yeah, in general.
Right. All right, so they made this choice. Mm-hmm. Now, do they consider themselves male or female gender?
No. I'm not exactly sure, I think, again, I don't know if they have a word that they, consider themselves as. I think, it's also kind of, interesting, case to case, if there was something where they had to be, government-wise or something had to be, male or female, I think they would, associate with, females because they...
That's the
were
box
born
they would
one,
check.
yeah, present very feminine mostly. So it's just, but I don't think they have a term that they use to describe their gender specifically. It's just kind of.
Do you know if they want to have children, be pregnant and bear children?
That's funny. Are you actually because we both love babies so much. They're so cute. They're just so cute and scrunchy. But I think that the part of that is has nothing. Any of their desire to have kids has nothing to do with their gender. I think they'd be. I think come fine being pregnant. Not I think that would be a thing. I think what they said about kids is that they were just if they have kids, they would want to be a stay-at-home parent. Is
right.
the thing, and but that has nothing to do.
They're not attached to bearing a child that's theirs.
No.
I mean, there's an element of if they decided to change their biology, that would take away that choice potentially.
Do that.
God, I wonder if you could have an operation where you are gender female and you go male, but you keep things so that you can still have a baby. You're an Aphrodite. Is that what it is? When both? Anyway, hermaphrodite. I don't know. Anyway, I think a hermaphrodite can impregnate themselves.
Which ones are those? Those
Vampire.
little, yeah.
Those little.
The little cell organisms.
Container?
The little. There's the
right.
mitosis and meiosis, and one of them. I might be going way off. I don't think that's a thing. What is mitosis, meiosis?
I have no idea.
One of them.
Isn't it about
the
cell
separation?
division?
Yeah, cell division.
So mitosis is when you have the single cell and it's fertilized. The egg's fertilized by the sperm. It becomes a single cell, and then isn't mitosis when it becomes 2 and then 4 and then?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Anyways.
Whatever the word. Okay. So this friend, you have them. All right. So you have any friends who, like on their birth certificate, it has a gender and they now identify as a different gender?
Yeah. I do. I have a couple friends. Not many. I think I know more people than I have like friends. I know more people who are like trans, different gender than I. But yeah.
All right, so the friends that you're friends with, have you ever had conversations where is it a exploration for them where they're checking things out, or are they clear?
They're like clear.
They're clear.
And,
This
like,
is what's up.
Yeah. This is this.
And I know that it's come up in conversation like with your sister about, well, are they gay then? But it's from the answers I've heard from you, it's kind of more back to the moment. They identify as this gender. They're currently romantic with this person. That's the same gender, and that's it. There's just, you don't have to put a label on it.
I mean, for some people it's like, I have like friends who are like I mean, or I just like know people who are like, I'm a man and I'm a gay man, like I'm a trans gay man, and that's just like what it is, like clear. But I mean, for some, so I guess it like differs from some people, yeah, some people no.
Okay, here's one of those adult questions that bother the youth. Do you think you're mature enough, and you're being abroad, like you and your peers are mature enough and have enough life experience to know decisions of such depth of sexual orientation and gender?
I think about as much as anybody else does at any given point in time. I don't think like, I mean, do you think you do have enough life experience to make?
The honest answer is no.
Yeah, so exactly, so no, because I don't think anybody, does like, I mean, if you really start thinking about it, it's like, well, you're making just like, what are your decisions based on, and who made up these sets of things, and well, where, and then it's like da da da. So it's like, no, but I think it's just like about like what makes you most comfortable, and as long as people aren't like being mean, as long as people aren't like doing things like that harm other people, I don't care. Like that's on, and if it shifts later on, that's great, that's fine, things change.
Do you think that you're involved in such a manner with your boyfriend that if your boyfriend came to you and said, like, I need to break up because of whatever, that you'd be emotionally affected?
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, I'd be emotionally affected, I would say.
Okay. And vice versa, you think that this individual would be emotionally affected if you were to just one day phone call, hey, guess what?
Hey,
Alright, so there does seem to be a good human, empathy's involved with our choices.
Definitely. I was like just thinking for a English assignment we have to like write about, or one of the options we can write about is like one of our like outlooks on life, basically, something like that. And I was like thinking of maybe writing it about empathy and stuff, because that's something that like I feel like sounds like kind of like but like I feel like I am able to like empathize with, or like at least sympathize with like everybody, like every action I feel like that people do comes from somewhere. So how you're just gonna say like you're a bad person, well, the bad things that you did came from somewhere, so it's like that type of thing. So like I feel like, what was the topic? Was the thing?
About, and how like there would be an emotional impact if either one of you. Right.
Because I think that like, I mean, with any change in like any relationship or anything, in general, that like there's gonna be some impact that comes either in like a physical way, like, oh, now like this person, my friend, moved and I can't see them anymore, and that really like it sucks. That's not fun. And like now I have to, like, instead of seeing them every day and talking with them in person, well, now I like have to make an effort to talk with them like on the phone and text them and stuff. Or like an emotional change of like, now I'm sad because they're gone. So it's like, I think there's cause and effect to everything. No, cause and,
I think that's right. Cause and effect. Yeah. Cause and effect.
Okay.
And do you see any meaning to your sadness? Like, was that a real world example you just gave? Do you really have a friend who moved away?
I mean, yeah, my friend last year who was a senior moved away. They're now in that college in somewhere, Syracuse, so like across the country. And I mean, I have friends who are seniors who are going to be leaving this year. One of my friends is going to England for college, and like, so that's definitely a prevalent theme, I would say, which is like terrible, like not fun.
Right. Do you see any merit to the things in your life that are not fun?
I mean, yeah. Like, yes, in the sense that, like, I'm gonna have friends who are gonna leave for, like, the rest of my life. Like, who are just not gonna, like, that's just gonna happen. Or just, like, people in my life who are gonna, I mean, I will get, like, I'll have, like, one conversation with someone one time who I'll never see again, and I'll be like, I'll miss them, because I'm like, that, there was, like, a little baby at the beach one time who was, like, just like we were, I think, like building sandcastles or something, and he was just like started coming over and like hanging out with us, and I miss that baby because that was like a fun guy. He was like a cool guy. And so I think there's like every hard thing that you go through just kind of helps you get better at going through hard things, I'd say. Sometimes you go through really hard things and they really quickly make you get better at going through really hard things. So,
So you think hard things are a part of this life? There's always going to be hard things to go through. I think for a
majority of conscious people, yeah. I would say so. Even if they're not like directly impacting you, you're still like aware of the hard things going on, and like we don't have tsunamis here or hurricanes, but I feel like I know from a lot of people are still like greatly impacted when some other disaster happens somewhere else. Like you're still fine, you're still just like going about your day, but just like the knowledge that it's going on is hard.
For some of your friends? For you?
I feel like for most people. Like for you, have you, like if
I'm sad that the people I know in the Philippines are being flooded.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a hardship. It's like bums me out.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Dang, Dell. All right, so I think you've said there's 2 friends that you are in your, like, that you consider regular friends, daily friends, that identify differently than what they were identified as birth, correct?
Yeah.
Has their choice of identification brought them hardship?
Definitely, yeah. Like, I mean, yeah. From, like, multiple scenarios of, like, people just, like, asking them things where it's like, why do you care? This does not affect you. Just like stop. And like, I mean, also just scenarios of like I think in school a lot. I feel like Tam is actually doing like a pretty good job mostly with like even like having like names different for what they might like send to parents versus what like people call you in class and stuff, and like what's on your roll, so that like teachers might call you one thing that you're comfortable with but you're not comfortable with your parents like knowing that. So that I feel like that's a cool thing that they're like able to do. But I mean, yeah, definitely there's been
So one of these people, their parents don't know that their true identification?
Yeah, someone I know, they're not out to their parents, but at school they are, and so they're called.
Wow, that must be very hard.
Yeah, I think mainly when like at events when their parents come to school and like they're around their friends who know them as one things, and then their parents are like calling them different things and stuff, and so that's like tricky.
Have you had a conversation with this person that maybe they could come out and it would be okay and they'd have support at home? It may be shocking at first, but then that would mellow out?
I mean, yeah, we've had conversations about that. I think that I'm trying to remember what they said, but like it mostly is just like I can't remember exactly the reason why they're not, but I think there is like an actual reason of like their parents wouldn't just like wouldn't really like support it. Like it was kind of I think that it was kind of like their parents are like fine with it with other people, but when it comes to their own kids, it like wouldn't really support it. So something like that, which is also another like thing where it's just like why, how, why.
Do you think this opens up the potential that I can identify as a black person?
No.
How come?
Because this one is like a tricky thing in theory. I feel like I mean it's tricky because the idea of like race and gender are both two things that are in a sense completely arbitrary, you know, like race isn't like there's not really a hard line drawn. I mean, even with the project that Rob was doing, looking at like Native heritage and how they are like the government is actively being able to like minimize Native populations by like creating laws and stuff where like, well, you're only, you know, Native if you're X% and blah 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 blah, stuff like that. But it's also like I feel like with race there's like a difference of communities that have like grown up and lived a certain way for like generations, which is also kind of the same thing with gender, you know, like there are like women have had certain issues and stuff, which is tricky because it does like instinctively I say like no, but it does make me wonder like what is the reason behind that, you know, which is tricky, which I guess is kind of like the thing of like, well, why couldn't I be a table? And it's just kind of like, well, because you can't. You just like you're just not a table.
Which is what some people say
as
about gender.
About gender and stuff. Yeah, exactly. It is interesting. I guess it's also kind of interesting because for me, like gender and sexuality, I think are like. Because I feel like you can, I feel like it's a much easier argument for like sexuality of like, well, how come like a woman can love a woman type thing, like that just like makes sense, like arbitrarily. I feel like that just like kind of like, or logistically that just like fits. And I feel like gender and sexuality in my mind are like more closely related than race is, because that's like a whole separate factor. That's like, could I say it's like more of a like almost like a personal identity versus like your gender is kind of more public, like it affects your day. It affects like how people refer to you and like how, like where you go to, like.
But race and culture are absolutely.
Yeah.
Like everything you're saying about sexuality and
It's kind of
gender
the
is the
same
same.
for race.
Yeah.
It is interesting. I don't know then.
Like maybe we can say we're a table.
Maybe I can. I mean, I don't know. It's like I don't know.
Do you think the students primarily at TAM are very supportive of gender fluidity and sexual fluidity? And by fluidity, I mean...
Yeah. No, I know. I'd say mostly. Yeah. I think especially... It's so funny. It's like... I didn't realize how much TAM was like... all of just like the like artsy people until I think it was a while ago I went over to like the mall. We were getting food. We had like a minimum day, and people from like Redwood also got off early, which I forgot about, and they were all there, and I'm like, these are such different like people than from what you see at like TAM. Like it's just like, and I just didn't realize, I didn't think it would be such a theme, but like it is apparently. Like TAM has like a lot more like there's still kind of like the cliques and stuff at TAM, you know, there's different like types of people, but I feel like there's a lot more, from like what I've seen, I don't know if it's true, but like a lot more just kind of variety of people.
Like the friends you have not experienced being bullied at TAM?
I mean, not to say like that they haven't, but I think that just like, because they have like, I think in general there's just like more...
Or maybe by
like
an
majority.
individual, not by a group. Not bullied by a group. Like because when I went to meet your principal Friday, and they had the whole spirit rally thing happening right in front of the school. So I was walking through a lot of, you know, what you could say are jocks.
Yeah.
Or, you know, and what I'm wondering, I guess, is like you have the drama students and the art students and the jocks, but do you feel like these groups do kind of meld without any resistance? You know, there's no one going like, no, you can't, you're a freak, get out of here.
I think in a joking way there is. Like, we'll make fun of the like, I think like the like sports kids, and they'll make fun of the drama kids and stuff, and there is the competition between like the AIM students, which is like the program at TAM, and the like drama department and blah 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 and stuff like that. But I think it like majority of the time, and what I've kind of realized is like majority of the time people are pretty chill. They're just kind of like if you're able to have a conversation with them, they're pretty chill.
Right, so like how like Jonah and I like giving each other shit about the chess games. Like I just won this last one, so I like give them shit, but that doesn't mean I don't love them.
I mean, some people are like actually like not cool and do not cool things.
Okay,
like I remember last year I was just like standing there, I think I was talking with a friend or something, like at the back of TAM, and some people in a car drove by and called me the F slur. And it's like sometimes people aren't cool. You know?
How'd you feel when that happened?
I think just kind of like confused at first. I was like, what? And then I was like, oh, this is what people mean when they like say that like queer people get like I don't know what the word, how to
slandered.
Yeah.
Like
get like made fun of, get
put down, like cruelty. Like there's a cruelty.
Yeah.
Cruelty.
And I'm not saying that like does exist at TAM, because it definitely does. I mean, also with like there's been a lot of incidents, you know, like a few years ago, the whole like incident with someone, was it writing on the wall or something,
right,
like
the
racial picture and stuff.
But that could be just an individual, not like a whole. Like what I'm hearing is predominantly the population at TAM is pretty chill.
Yeah.
And you have incidents.
Yeah.
And there's going to be
I'd
a jerk here.
Predominantly, it's like a nice, pretty open place.
when you were at the mall, did you feel any like animosity from the redwood, or did it seem pretty
No.
chill? It was all.
It was
pretty
all.
chill?
I mean, no one was like actively being mean or anything, but it was just like funny. It was just interesting because it was like a lot of like, and I mean, again, that was like I didn't actually go to the school, so I don't know, but it was like different. Just like seemed different from the people at TAM, which I feel like is also kind of. I mean, I went to school in the city with a friend and like goes there, and so I went there and it was like you see like, oh, there's the like city kids and they have a different thing, because that's just kind of how it is. You go to a different place and you like hang out with different people and blah 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 blah.
Well, is there anything more that?
I don't know. I think mainly just people are pretty chill, and like as long as you're a chill person, then that's fine. Like I think a lot of times people just kind of need to like take it a step down and just like be okay with like you do whatever you want to do, I'll do whatever I want to do, and like as long as we can Marlin have a nice conversation. I think look at Marlin. He's a dog, but we love him, and that's about it. just be a chill person. It's not that hard. Yeah. Anything more from you?
Well, the chill person thing. Like, what about when you're angry?
Just take it. Just
Do you find you can do that?
down. Or just like leave. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Like I think. Are you angry every moment in your life?
No.
And have you been angry before?
Yeah.
So there you were angry and now you're not.
So just learn to chill.
So just chill. Yeah. Pretty
Love you.
much. Love you too.